Good morning.
Good morning, Prof.
How are you this morning? Good?
How are you?
Good?
Yes, good.
Nice to see you again. Okay? Well, now you're still 5 or 4 people. We are waiting for the others because, um, well, by the end of this semester, perhaps some of you are written um, to their hometown. But I think even though in your hometown you still can join this class because it is online. Okay, we're waiting for. You're still 4 because we are with Ibu Hanum and Pak Umar and me. One, two, three. Gisela, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're waiting for him. Hi, Aura. We're still four. You're still four.
Yes. Still
Why?
waiting.
Why the others?
I already texted the group, but there's still no reply yet.
Retired?
No, I already texted the group, but there is still no reply yet.
Oh, no, no, no. Okay, okay, fine. Now, 5. Now, Herpandu. Herpandu is coming. Kalila. 5 more minutes, I guess. Hello, Gabriel.
Hello, Prof. I'm sorry for late. Coming late. Sorry.
How are you? Are you still sleeping?
No, I'm doing another task that really, yeah, because I'm literally forget about the time. So when I see the chat, guys, where are you? And I coming into the class.
Your background says Operi Boulevard. You know Petit?
Yeah,
Small.
petit, petit,
Petit. Not petite. Petit.
petit.
Petit. Petit. Petit. Petit means small.
Yeah, and I guess it's just read like this. Oh, petit boulevard,
Boulevard.
boulevard, because
You know where it is? You
sorry.
know where it is?
I'm not sure where it is, but in the building like this, it's about around the French. It's around the
No.
French, yeah, in about northern area.
I guess I have ever seen this kind of building in Belgium. In Belgium, in Brussels.
Yeah, in northern area of the France, I think.
In Brussels. You know, if you go to Brussels, so if you arrive at Antwerp, which is called Antwerpen, you have to speak Dutch. But you go to Brussels, Brussels North, Brussels Midi, and Brussels Central. You have to speak French. So when I was in Antwerp, I spoke Dutch, but it is different style. When I asked Dank u wel, he responded zonder dank. It is clumsy to my ear, zonder dank, because when I was in the Netherlands, they said graag gedaan or tot uw dienst, but in Belgium, this is zonder dank. It's different style, different dialect. Zonder dank. 2 more minutes, we begin. Okay.
Prof, do you know what background is this?
Finish?
No.
Finish?
No. This one is still in French.
Oh, well, in French.
That's my own photos.
I don't. Well, I never be there. Never been there.
Yeah, I told you I walked through some part of Paris and I found this place and I thought
In
really,
Paris? In Paris? In Paris? Is
Yeah.
it in Paris?
Yeah.
Saint-Solité?
Sorry?
Saint-Solité? In Saint-Solité? Because in Paris, I from Port Saint Cloud, for Philippe, and etc.
I'm not sure where it's located, but it's like a marketplace of the fruit and fish and also meat shop there.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I read. In France. Okay. Before beginning this class, or this tutorial class, for you who celebrate Christmas, sing this song. Hear this song. The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Have you ever heard this song?
Yes, sir. Almost all of Christmas.
Yeah. In sin and error, till he appear, and the soul of his but rejoice. Fall on your knees. Hear the angel voices. Oh, no. Oh, night, the Christ was born. Oh, night, divine. Oh, night, oh, night, night, divine.
You should join the chorus, sir.
Good. The angel voices. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night. Oh, oh, night. Divine. 10 years ago, I was asked to sing this song solo when in my church. It's very a good song. Okay, now we talk about the kiss. It's very I think unique kiss. Kiss number 8. The surgery constitutes sexual reassignment surgery within the meaning of Section 32A of the Birth, Death, and Marriages Registration Act 1995, New South Wales. You know where it is? New South Wales, Australia. Well, they say New South Wales, but I think American says new, not new. It is British. New South Wales, New South Wales. You know, Sydney is a New South Wales. This is the state in Australia. Victoria, Melbourne, I think, in Victoria State. As a result, his body was no longer able to function as that of a female, particularly for the purpose of reproduction and sexual intercourse. He was female. I don't know how I should say she was or he was. She was a female. Or he was a female. No, I don't know how to express. As a result, his body was no longer able to function as that of a female, particularly for the purposes of reproduction and sexual intercourse. The applicants went through a ceremony of marriage on 21st August 1999, applied to a court in Australia for a declaration of the validity of that marriage. You know, applicants and petitioner, you know the difference? Applicant means one who applies to the court for the declaration of something. For example, when I was, I changed my name, you know, before for being granted to be one name, Peter Mahmud Marzuki. There are various names of mine. Mahmud with CH, Petrus, Peter, and Mahmud MZ. And then I have to realign my name, and I applied to the district court at Jalan Arjuna. And Prof. Sokar was the witness, and my brother was the witness, because there are two witnesses. And I changed my name into Peter Mahmud Marzuki. Now it is my official name. At that time, Petrus, Mahmud, etc. So I applied. But petitioner, if there is a case, for example, petitioner claimed something to the respondent or defendant, the applicants went through a ceremony of marriage on 21st August 1999, applied to a court in Australia for a declaration of the validity of that marriage. Okay. 1999, 21 years ago. The issue involved was whether the husband was a man at the date of marriage. The issue involved was whether the husband was a man at the date of the marriage. The question arose because he was a post-operative female to male transsexual. Well, I cannot imagine. If male to female, it's okay. Just cut the genital and throw it away. But from male to female, what kind of thing to be a genital? You know genital? I cannot imagine. I cannot figure out. I cannot figure out how can a female become a male. That should be additional thing to be made as genital. Okay. Post-operative female to male transsexual, from female to male. How can you figure out? The applicant submitted that the husband was a man for the purpose of the marriage law, and that court should declare that the marriage is valid. The applicants submitted that the husband was a man for the purpose of the marriage law, and that court should declare that the marriage is valid. Marriage law or marital law, it's different. Sorry, it's the same. Marital law is marriage law. Please be careful. Marital law, martial law is a military law. So this is name of a French soccer player, Anthony Martial. So Anthony Martial is not English. He is French. But martial law is military law. Marital law is marriage law. Please be careful. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, Prof.
Okay. So, can you see this one? The applicants submitted. Can you see that?
Yes.
The applicant submitted that the husband was a man for the purpose of the marriage law, and that court should declare that the marriage is valid. So that should be a declaration. Declarations concerning the validity of the marriage. The Attorney General intervened and submitted that the husband was not a man for the purpose of the law of marriage, and that the application should therefore be dismissed. So the Attorney General intervened and submitted that the husband, sorry, that the husband was not a man for the purpose of the law of marriage, and that the application should therefore be dismissed. You know, one of the function of attorney, like district attorney in Surabaya, for example, district attorney, you know, one of the function is attorney is state's lawyer in civil case. Attorney or district attorney or attorney general is state lawyer in civil cases. So in criminal case, attorney may be or district attorney may be public prosecutor. But in addition to a prosecutor, the attorney may be state lawyer. District attorney. Well, I'm a lawyer. But if, sorry, I'm hired by my client to represent him or her or it, I'm his or her or its attorney. You know, the function of lawyer, one of the function of lawyer is to be an attorney. If I represent my client in in court, it is attorney. There's a power of attorney. Power of attorney. The authorizer, my client, authorizes me as his or her or its representative. So I'm his, her, or its attorney. This Attorney General intervened and submitted that the husband was not a man for the purpose of the law of marriage, and that the application should therefore be dismissed. The husband was identified as a girl at birth and named Kimberly. Kimberly, sorry, Kimberly is a girl name. Like Suzanne, Kimberly, Quinette, they are girl names. Bernard is a man's name, but Bernardine is a woman's name. Bernardine. Gabriel, hello Gabriel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is man's name, but Gabriela is a woman's name. Michael is a man's name, but Michelle is a girl name. The husband was identified as girl at birth and named Kimberly, not the real name. What is not the real name in English? What is not the real name? What is the term of not real name?
Initial.
No.
Yes.
No.
Pseudonym.
Yes, right. Pseudonym. Okay. Pseudonym. Pseudonym. Not the real name. His genitalia and gonads were female, and he had and continues to have female XX. If XX chromosomes, male, you know, the chromosomes of male are Y.
XY, sir.
Why? But sometimes there's someone who is male, his chromosomes are YX. Sometimes. And sometimes a female has chromosome XY.
And
there was also a female whose chromosome XYY. But a female. But because his chromosome is XX, this means that from what else in biologically she is female. Biologically she is female. As I've told you previously that I challenge transsexual surgery. I challenge transgender surgery. Why? Because what God has created, that is, please accept as what you are. As I've told my my girlfriends before, now she's my wife. Well, you have to ask me as what I'm. And she said so. Yeah, Peter, ask me as what I am. Okay. You know, it's not easy to be my wife. Because, well, I do something that cannot be cannot be prohibited, even by my professor, for example, at the time, Professor Saitapi. If I don't agree with his word, and I know that he did wrong, I said to him, "You did wrong, Professor Saitapi," and he was angry with me. Okay, angry with me, but I still said, "You are wrong." Angry with me, no problem. It's not for my sake, it's for your sake. And if I know that I do right, no one can stop me from doing that. If I do right, no one, even the government. When I was not interviewed, but I was caught at a time, and then was interrogated by the armed force, the army at the time. And I said the truth. This is my idea. What about if you kill? It's no problem. So this is me. Well, I was very active in demonstration in my time, and anytime maybe caught, maybe killed. And when I met my my wife, I thought that's so okay. That's me. So I will do what I want to do as long as that it is right. It is not against law. But if the law is not good, I challenge. So how did I do that? I wrote in newspaper my opinion. That's it's very not so hard, not so brutal, but with euphemism. Well, I have to um, to write in such a way that this criticism doesn't hurt anybody. That I have an argument to defend my opinion. Okay, his genitalian gonads were female, and he had and continues to have female XX chromosome. It cannot be changed, of course. The chromosome cannot be changed. However, as long as he could remember, he perceived himself to be male. As long as she could remember, I think she perceived herself to be male. I think it is more appropriate to state that. As long as she could remember, she perceived herself to be male. I think it is more appropriate to state that. Despite sorry, horse. Last night I attended wedding celebrations because I was invited by former Dean Pak Ismet Baswedan at Bumimoro. And there are much food to be presented. And then but not so late. Not so late, but it was interesting. Despite pressure to dress and behave as a girl, he wore boys' clothes whenever he could. Refused to play with girl toys, had many attributes of a boy, and saw himself as a boy while growing up. You know, girl toys. Aura.
Yes.
Did you play girl toys?
Yes, of course.
Doll, yeah, like doll.
Yes.
Gabriel, did you
Yes,
play
sir.
girl toys?
What kind of girl toys? Is it
Doll.
cooking toy?
Doll.
No, sir, not doll.
No, of course. Of course. You, Diva, did you play girl toys when you were a child?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, yes, of course. You know, you played doll, for example, and what else?
I don't play doll.
My wife didn't play doll because,
His brother,
well, her brother, her elder brother was envy. Okay. Despite to dress and behave as a girl, he wore boys' clothes whenever he could, refused to play with girl toys, and many attributes of a boy, and saw himself as a boy while growing up. From 1994, he generally presented as a male wearing pants, or in British, because it is Australian case, or trousers. So trousers is British for pants. You know, pant, trousers. Trousers is British word, British term for pants. Because this case is Australian case, So it is written as this English. Well, I wanted, look, this one. Sorry, little bit hungry. He embarked on hormone treatment in October 1995. Please be careful. Hormone does not change the chromosomes. Hormone does not change the chromosomes. Hey, run, run. No, no, no. No. Please be quiet. Be quiet, Ronnie. Be quiet, Ronnie. Don't bark. No barking. She speak English and Dutch. Okay, be quiet. Okay, fine. Okay. Just sit. Well, she goes away. In September 1998, he had further surgery, a total hysterectomy with bilateral oophorectomy. You know, something that like ovarium ovary removal surgery. You know, ovum. If a male has sperm, a female has ovum. You know, ovum. So, oophorectomy means her ovum was removed. A female whose ovum is removed, she cannot be pregnant. So she cannot be pregnant anymore. The surgery considered sexual reassignment surgery within the meaning of Section 32A of the Birth, Death, and Marriage Legislation Act 1995. This New South Wales, Australia. Please pay attention on it. That Australia is a federal state. So every state has its own civil law or its own administrative administrative law. So it is not Australian administrative law. It is New South Wales administrative law. Indonesia is a unitary state. Indonesia is not a federal state. So we have no states. We only have a unitary state, Indonesia. The province has no law like this. No. So we have penal law. It is unified throughout Indonesia. Which is penal code. It is unified, applicable to throughout Indonesia. For the purpose of ascertaining the validity of marriage under Australian law, this is Australian law. The question whether a person is a man or woman is to be determined as of the date of the marriage, not as the date of birth. Kimberly was a girl at birth, but after being underwent surgery, she changed her gender to a male, and now she becomes a man. In the present case, the husband at birth had female chromosomes, gonads, and genitals, but was a man for the purpose of the law of marriage at the time of his marriage, having regard to all the circumstances, and in particular the following. A, he had always perceived himself to be a male. He was perceived by those who knew him to have had male characteristics since he was a young child. Well, this is my question, of course, because I was not his lawyer, or I was not the attorney general lawyer. If I were an Australian lawyer, I asked whether or not if she went to restroom, she went to ladies restroom or gents restroom. Is it logic? Is this question logic? I want to ask their lawyer, or I want to ask them whether she went to male restroom or female restroom when she went to restroom. Okay, I guess I got a parcel. Yeah, every Christmas I get some parcel from my colleagues. Not from you. No, don't give me parcel. From my colleague, the lawyer, from my client, my former client. Perhaps from my colleague Pak Jaitun or Pak Faisal, perhaps. But I think every time Pak Jaitun gives me a parcel. So if I were sorry, Atri. Wah. Okay. If I were the Australian's lawyer, I ask the couple, I ask Kimberly, Kim, if you went to restroom when you were a child, to which room? Ladies or gentlemen's room did you go? So even though he was perceived by those who knew him to have had male characters since he was a young child, I guess she went to ladies' restroom when she went to restroom. This is my opinion. I guess it is a key question. It's a key question. You know, I'm also a lawyer, so I have to know the loopholes of the story. Prior to marriage, he went through a full process of transsexual reassignment involving hormone treatment and irreversible surgery conducted by appropriately qualified medical practitioner. That's very good. At the time of marriage, in appearance, characteristic, and behavior, he was perceived as a man and accepted as a man by his family, friends, and work colleagues. Well, so physically, he looks a man. Physically, he looks a man. But she still has X chromosomes, which is a woman. Her or his chromosome doesn't change. He was accepted as a man for a variety of social and legal purposes, including name. His marriage as a man was accepted in full knowledge of his circumstances by his family, friends, and work colleagues. For these reasons, the application succeeds and there will be a declaration of validity of the applicant's marriage. Okay, I want to give one by one. And it's wrong. Okay, now begin. Why? What is the significance of the judgment to law reform? Arya? Where are you, Arya? Arya? Arya?
Yes, hi, sir. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
okay. What is the significance of the judgment to law reform?
So I think the judgment, first of all, I would like to apologize for not turning on my video because my internet connection is not cooperating.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. So
No
for me, I think the significance of the judgment to law reform is that the judgment changed the definition of sex So whereas in the time prior to the decision, sex is most likely defined as the biological state of an individual at the time of birth. But the meaning of sex after the decision may not necessarily be someone's sex at birth, but rather whichever the individual defines themselves as. And consequently, the definition of being a man or a woman or a girl or a boy becomes fluid and predisposed to change. I think
That's it.
yes.
Tasya, Alia, where are you? Tasya? Well, Tasya, Alia, where are you, Tasya?
I don't think she's in this lesson, sir.
She's not in the class?
No.
I think it's her connection, sir.
No. Oh, Pimo.
Yes, Prof.
Okay. What is in your opinion on that?
I don't know. I think the significance reforms is, as an Arya said, it's from the date of the birth. This person was a female, so and then he changed and transformed to be a man at the date of the marriage. I think this and then I think this but I think in my opinion, because of this person already have all of the surgery, such as through all process of transsexual reassignment. I think this person I think it's but I think it's still significant reforms because of the definition of sexuals is from the date of the birth of the person. I think it's the significant law reforms.
Kalila. You? Kalila? You?
Yes, sir.
Naswa. Kalila Naswa. Not Najwa. Naswa. No. You know, Najwa Sihab has her twin. Her name is Naswa.
I don't know, sir. I'm not
sure.
You don't
know. I know Najwa Sihab and Naswa Sihab. Okay. They are twins. Okay, now you are Naswa without Sihab.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kalila.
My answer would be the same as the previous statement, sir. Like from what Arya said.
As the same as whom?
As Arya.
Oh, Arya.
Yes.
Arya. Perhaps you have another argument?
No, I don't think
any other argument, Gabriel?
So the question is, what is the significance of the judgments to law reform? So I think it's about to propose and to provide something like social changes, and there is also maybe about this aspect that fulfill the law reform about they provide social development and social demands aspect.
Saying that so?
Yeah.
Aura?
I'm sorry. I think similarly to Arya, because of the court's judgment, it changes the definition of men that exists in the marital law. So men is not only limited to the definition of those who were born as men, but also those who went through a full process of transsexual reassignment. And so this reflects law reform.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay, Gisela.
Yeah, I agree with Aura and Arya. So the significance of this NSW court judgment is that it recognized that male and female can mean more than the chromosomes, genitals, and sex assigned at birth, allowing for the legal recognition of individuals who change their genders when they want to get married.
Now, Herpandu.
Yes, Prof. Okay, I turn on my camera. I think the decision changed the definition of gender, like Arya said, because I want to add the reason there is a sexual reassignment surgery. It is change the definition of the section 32A tentang about marital law. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, good. There's a cake. Who is he? There's a cake. This one. There's a cake. Kanya, where are you?
So my opinion will be the same with Arya. So I would like to add to that it evolves, their gender evolves differently from their girl or boy birth assignment, and it does not fit the rigid traditional notion of female or male. So it's basically recognizing the rights in transitions too.
Okay, good. Gisela, have you ever answered this question?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you still remember your answer?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
My answer was that it recognized that male and female can mean more than the chromosomes, genitals, and sex assigned at birth.
Okay.
Allowing for legal recognition for those who change their gender.
Hey, Bimo Prakoso. Is it apple or what is it?
It's a coconut.
Coconut. Okay, young coconut.
Yes.
Young coconut.
Yeah.
Okay. You have not answered this question.
I already answered the question.
Okay. But you after that you drank the coconut.
Yes.
It's nice. The coconut is very nice. So, the significance of the judgment to law reform. Well, and as you learn it, that the law reform in this case is made by judge. It's made by the court. It's not made by it's not made by the legislature. Okay, it's significant change, of course. Despite the decision, can the meaning of man specified in the marital law prior to decision be retained? Now, Aura.
So in my opinion, I don't think the meaning of men that is specified in the marital law prior to the decision can be retained, because even though law reform might be generally carried out by legislative power, but it can also be in the form of judicial decisions from the court, and the court's decision stating that a person's gender is no longer decided on the date of his or her birth is a law reform, hence the previous definition can no longer be retained.
Herpandu, do you agree with her?
I also agree, but this is my statement. I think it depends on the case that comes up later. If the case is like similar, maybe the meaning of man in the marital law will be maintained or retained. That's all.
So, Pimo, okay. Have you drunk the coconut?
Yes, yes, Prof.
Okay, now, okay,
Okay.
answer this question.
I kind of have a different opinion with Aura because I don't know, this is based on what I read. Okay. I think it still can be I think it still can be retained because genders refers to the characters of women and men, girls and boys that are socially constructed. This includes norms, behavior, and roles associated with being a woman, man, girls, or boy, as well as a relationship with each other. So I think it still can be retained. I don't know.
Gisela, what's your opinion?
I agree with Aura that the judicial decision itself has already gone through law reform, and with the theory of, I guess, stare decisis, it will start as a new standard for the upcoming court decisions. Gitu.
Kanya?
I feel like it could be retained by the decisions since it might actually relate it to how they perceive themselves. Yeah.
Do you hear music?
Yeah.
Music, please. It is from Solitaire. Now, Gabriel, it's your turn to answer this question.
Well, that's quite a hard question actually. Between retain and between retain it or change it out. So for me, I thought it should be retained due to the normal guys and women's are supposed to be have a specification as we know it's supposed to be. But in this case, I guess make it a little bit change inside of the, so it's make a little confusion, but I still choosing it to be retained.
Now, Kalila Naswa.
Yes, sir. My answer is different from the previous. Just like Kania, I think yes, it could be retained because based on his characteristic, I think his characteristic has perfectly matched the definition of man that is mentioned in the common law, including his physical characteristic and then his genital, and also he already got the essential role of men, like from start, yeah. And for the reform, I think the reform, it's more to the marital law where the court validate the marriage between trans people, maybe. Yeah, I think that's my answer, sir.
Okay, now Arya.
Yes, sir. I think I agree with Aura and Gisela, with Kayla, because I think it cannot be retained because then there will be inconsistencies in the law governing the marriage. So with the decision from the court, legal reform is invoked, which subsequently updates the law. So I guess if the meaning of a man is retained, there will be inconsistencies in the law governing marriage.
Anyone has another comment? Any discussion? No one else? Well, I think it's time to stop discussing today. Well, I think we still have a time for on Wednesday. Is it right?
Yes, Prof.
Is there any, do you still have a class on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, see you then. For those who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Okay, we